given that it says it's going to rain all day and the day before. If it's a sloppy track, Omaha Beach is going to be tough. Already has 2 wins on a sloppy track. Broke his maiden at Santa Anita by 9 lengths in the slop, and then won the Arkansas Derby at Oaklawn in the slop. So, assuming it's sloppy, that's the direction I think I'm going to go at this point.
Jeff, it's like every week there's another big name, huge name, announcing a residency at one of the Caesars properties. Paula Abdul. Now, I mean, she's had a heck of a career, and she's going to be dancing and singing away for quite some time at one of the Caesars properties.
Yes, she is. It's amazing the names that Caesars gets to come and play there. Her residency begins at the Flamingo. August 13th is the first day of her residency. She has 4 shows in August, 4 shows in October, 4 shows in November. Plays pretty much Christmas through New Year's. It's like a 2-week, December 23rd to January 4th, where she plays almost every night. The names, I mean, Paula Abdul, Sting, it's, James Taylor. We just had Hall & Oates. It doesn't stop. If you want to see a great show, look up at go to Caesars Awards, look at all of the various show options. There's something for everyone. Just keeps coming.
Awesome stuff, Jeff. Always appreciate it, man.
All right, Dave. All right, Teddy. Take care.
And we will take a quick break, and we'll come back. We'll get to our Wednesday 4 at 4.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
With Cliff Miller from MJ Christensen Diamonds, William Henry Collectibles.
Incredible. All one-of-a-kind pieces. They're generational items. And in the South, everybody just lusted after who gets the grandfather's pocket knife. In Vegas, it's stepped up a notch, and that's William Henry. But this is a knife that generations will own. Every one of them made out of custom materials, an incredible story and legacy to pass on to future generations.
MJ Christensen, located at Boca Park.
Hey, Dave Koken with John Lyons from Lyons Physical Therapy. John, what type of injuries do you treat at LPT?
Dave, we treat a whole gamut of injuries, primarily orthopedic injuries, anything from neck pain, back pain, post-surgical rehabilitation. We also specialize in treating victims after any car accidents or slip and fall type injuries.
LionsPTLV.com, 702-476-0222.
Hello, friends. This is Thomas Johnson from Joe's Seafood Prime Steak and Stone Crab. Need a great idea for lunch or dinner? Your best bet is Joe's, one of the most popular dining destinations on the Strip. Joe's provides the ideal setting for private parties with accommodations for up to 150 guests. Stop by to see us at the Forum Shops at Caesars and ask for Thomas Johnson, your maitre d'.
Thanks as always to Jeff Davis from Caesars Entertainment. I love picking the minds of the odds makers. You really get some great information in those segments that we do each day, and JD is outstanding. Teddy Covers is here. I'm Dave Koken, and it's time for our angle of the day, our Joe's angle of the day. Make a reservation at Joe's by calling 702-792-9222. Ralph Michaels provides us with this information, and what did he come up with today?
Well, he gave us a title for today's, besides Joe's angle of the day. Today's angle is called Zigzag Knot.
Oh.
Yeah. Playoff home favorites that won game one of a series, because game one, obviously, of course, at home. 31-7 straight up, 26-12 against the spread, 68% dating back to 2016. So this is all current form.
So like many angles that become really popular, they've gone the other way.
26-12 ATS.
So zag-zig.
That says
zigzag. There you go.
You take the Denver Nuggets.
Yep.
Minus the spot at home for the prevailing number against Portland.
Time for us to look at some Major League Baseball. We'll do that in the Wednesday edition of the MJ Christensen 4 at 4.
1, 2, bring it to the phone.
Put them fours up. Put the fours up, I said. Do it right now.
Tonight's action is just around the bend, and the guys want to get your night off to a great start.
4.
It's the Las Vegas Sports Line's 4 at 4.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Unbelievable.
Pirates held on to beat the Rangers 7-5. The Royals beat the Rays 3-2 in Game 1 of their doubleheader. They lead 4-0 against Blake Snell in the second game at Kansas City. The Red Sox picked up another win against Oakland 7-3. In progress, the Diamondbacks leading the Yankees 3-1. That is now in the top of the 6th inning Yankees with man on second and one out. And the White Sox leading the Orioles 4-2 in the top of the fourth. First game of two between Baltimore and the White Sox. A reminder, it's a brand new month at MJ Christensen. I don't yet have the new specials for May, but I will check with Cliff and Darlene and find out all about them. But you really don't need to know what they are. You're going to get great deals all the time at MJ Christensen, now in their 81st year serving Las Vegas. 81 years. That's even older than I am. All right, let's check out some matchups tonight. The Cardinals taking on the Nationals. Max Scherzer is on the mound, so naturally Washington is the favorite in the game. But the Nationals are a hurting entity right now. Left side of the infield is now out with Turner and Rendon both on the disabled list. The bullpen is terrible. The Cardinals, despite the fact that Michaelis hasn't pitched well, they're just winning a ton of games. And by the way, they own the Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Scherzer now lose, 4 times at minus 170 or higher?
Yeah. The Nats are 1-5 when he pitches this year.
Yeah, and Michaelis gets bombed, and what happens? The Cards just went for him. They won 4 of the last 5. What did you say, 28-10?
Since he became a Cardinal, 28-10, the Cardinals' record when Michaelis starts.
Yeah, so, I mean, it feels like a starting pitching mismatch in favor of Washington. But from a momentum standpoint, from a lineup standpoint, from a bullpen standpoint, it may be equally as much of a mismatch in favor of St. Louis if you get away from that starting pitching matchup. Obviously, the markets never get away from the starting pitching matchup. That's why Scherzer is the chalk.
And that's why, despite the fact that we don't know how healthy his elbow is, and he certainly hasn't been effective in his last couple of starts, Jacob deGrom is a huge favorite tonight as the Mets host the Reds, and Anthony DeSclafani playing in Queens tonight. The problem here with taking the Reds, because I would look at this and said, boy, I don't know if deGrom's healthy, and that's an enormous price. The Reds have been so bad off a loss this season. I mean, it's less than a 300 winning percentage. When they lose one night, they have a tendency to lose the next night as well, and that's why they're a sub-500 team.
And last night's loss wasn't a garden variety loss either. No. Since he blew a chance in the top of the 10th and then got walked off against in the bottom of the 10th. And there was, it felt big, for a game on the last day of April, it kind of felt bigger than it was. And this is a Reds team that has not responded well to adversity this season.
Haven't.
I worry about them responding to adversity. It's not going to matter, perhaps, if you have a Mets ace who can't get anybody out.
Now, he did say coming out of his last start that he felt pretty good. So that might be, we'll see if he gets back to being DeGrom tonight. But that's a concern for the Mets, no question about that. The Padres, they just keep sending out these young studs on the mound. They can all pitch. The Sheriff was, again, impressive last night, talking about Paddock, who looks like he might be the best of the bunch. And tonight, Cal Quantrill, son of a former major leaguer, Paul Quantrill. He will be making his debut. He'll go against a guy who's pitching very quietly under the radar, doing a good job for the Braves, and Max Fried. But the Braves, another one of those teams where if you're just going on starting pitching, you can get yourself in trouble because their bullpen is just not getting the job done for the most part. And, by the way, San Diego, Franmil Reyes, who might have hit in worse luck than anybody in baseball over the first 3 weeks of the season. Some of those hard-hit balls are now starting to find a place. 2 of them found the stands last night. He's a weapon for the Padres. I don't know about Quantrill here, but I'm not laying it with the Braves.
No, and Fried has shown sign. Remember how he had those 2 brilliant starts?
Yes.
To open up the campaign, and the last time out, he had a couple of dingers. Time before somebody went yard on him. Those are concerns for me. He's not exactly the prospect that he's going to be a number 1 starter on this team. Or someone they were hoping they can get 5 innings out of.
Right.
And he's overachieved to that early in the campaign. I don't trust him today against a Padres team that may well be better than Atlanta.
And starting a little bit, the Cubs and Mariners. And the Mariners are regressing to the norm.
As we said they would, as you in particular, Dave.
Yeah.
Were they 15-2?
I don't know. It was just the ultimate fluke. And it might cost me a bet because I did bet the under on their win total. But I think they're a bad baseball team. And they are showing it in a lot of regards. Their relief pitching is not good. Their starting pitching is that good, in fact. Their defense is atrocious. I think they've made 40 errors already, which is staggering for this. This is a bad baseball team. It's going to end up on the wrong side of 500. I just don't know if they'll end up enough on the wrong side of 500 for me to cash that ticket. But, Here comes the sabermetrics darling, or reverse darling, if you will, John Lester. The Sabre guys love to bet against him. Not me. Nope. Sorry, not going to do it. I didn't take the Cubs here because Marco Gonzalez has fashioned some good outings for Seattle. He's been their best guy. So I left it alone, but it wouldn't take much to push me to the Cubs side here.
Well, you're a guy who was telling me repeatedly you don't trust Lester. You don't like Lester. They're hitting Lester hard.
He keeps on finding a way to get the job done.
I know, it's insane, isn't
it?
And
he's like a quality version of Jeff Locke. Okay?
It's just somehow, some way.
Yeah. It's called knowing how to pitch. And he'll get guys on base. He'll give up hard hit balls. And at the end of the game, he'll have pitched 6 innings and given up 2 or 3 runs. And with that Cubs offense, that's enough to get wins.
It sure is. And certainly Seattle is a team right now. They're a one-way team. All right. If I'm getting involved with the Mariners game, I'm not backing the Mariners. Which, and Lester's a pitcher that it's the hard hit balls. You can't control that. They're either hit at somebody or they're not. Greinke had a couple of those last night. And boom, right at somebody, problem solved. D-backs win, but it doesn't happen every night that way.
By the way, the Cubs are going to use a designated hitter tonight, despite the fact that every time John Lester swings the bat recently, he gets a hit. Whatever happened there? John Lester can't hit at all. He's going to be a disaster at the plate. This is coming over from the American League. Actually, John Lester can hit a little bit. He's just good, that's all. I don't know if he's going to make the Hall of Fame, but Lester's had himself a heck of a career. Break time for us. We'll come back. We haven't talked about this one yet. It's the marquee matchup. Game 2 between the Blazers and Nuggets is next.
The Las Vegas Sportsline.
What's hot today? It's time for the Wager Talk Marquee Matchup of the Night. WagerTalk.com. Start winning now.
All right, here we go. NBA, a big Game 2. Denver Nuggets holding serve in Game 1 with the win and cover in the process against the Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers will try and get it even tonight. And we talked with Jeff Davis earlier, and if this is not a game where the wise guys are firing on the dog, and now we talk about the angle that Ralph Michaels provided us, and that angle definitely says Denver tonight.
Yeah, the angle does. All that being said, there's a lot of concern, and the reason this number is as low as it is the markets are worried about the exhale from the Nuggets tonight. You have the Game 7 win. You follow that up in less than 48 hours, and you have the Game 1 win, where really, just about everyone played well offensively for the Nuggets. Now you've got, in theory, you've established control of the series. You've taken the 1-0 lead. Is this where you exhale? Because Portland's not going to exhale.
But, exhale, inhale, whatever. If they don't control the big cat in the middle for Denver, the Blazers are going to have a problem winning this basketball game. It's going to put an awful lot of pressure on their guards to deliver huge games because that big guy, and I'm telling you, he is one great basketball player. Tremendous hands. He can shoot, he can pass, he can rebound. And Portland had a real bad time with him when it mattered in Game 1.
And Enes Kanter had 26 points and 7 boards in Game 1, and he was minus 10 when he was on the floor.
Well, he can't defend. And that's another problem is Enes Kanter can't play defense.
No, and that's what we thought Portland's fatal flaw was going to be in the first round. But OKC never made him defend.
No.
Denver's going to make him defend, and obviously he couldn't do that in Game 1. And when it comes to which of these two teams is more likely to be able to get a key stop in the fourth quarter, it has to be Denver. Their defensive numbers were better all season long. But you say which of these two teams has the guy that, is just cold-blooded and can hit any shot.
And that's Portland.
That is Damian Lillard, and he's shown us some of that already this postseason. And he's at any game, Lillard is capable of doing that. That's in his skill set.
I did not play the game, and I feel good about that. I mean, to me, this was a pretty easy pass. Did you end up playing the game?
Yeah, I'm involved in it. You can get it right now at sportsmemo.com or Wager Talk.
All right. I have a one baseball play up tonight. I did hit the 5% play last night. Which
nice job.
Turned out well. The Angels getting the home run, hero ball from Goodwin.
Never in doubt.
Well, I thought I was in pretty good shape most of the game, to be honest with you. I thought the Angels were playing a better game, except for that Justin Bour was boy, is he awful.
Well, it was a legitimately bad spot for Toronto, and you don't get a lot of spots